Hey everybody, welcome to Todd's Corner. Today we're going to have Mr. Jeffrey Morris, and I've got my buddy here, Gordon, for the pre-launch of the Eagle Has Landed live Kickstarter that's starting tomorrow.
Well, happy Breakaway Eve out there. Breakaway Day Eve.
Yeah.
Well, glad that hope. Well, actually, I hope everybody's doing pretty well out there. So this is our kind of a pre-launch Kickstarter show, and we're going to be having some interesting guests coming on board. So, Todd, who are our guests?
Jeffrey Morris will be with us, and Brian Johnson and Nick Tate. They will be on shortly.
Those are really, really interesting guests. So,
absolutely. Awesome. So it looks like the only thing I'm streaming on is the YouTube page for some reason. I see Gary Reynolds, Jan Winneberg,
Joe McNally,
Sean Dempsey.
Yeah.
Ron's here. I don't know if I can fix these things or not.
Well, tell your friends that the YouTube page is live. I see the chat going on and everything. So I'm not sure what happened.
I'm sure they can click in on the Facebook.
Oh, the links.
The links, yeah, because it should be showing on the Eagle headquarters, Props and Ships. Space 99 series, Nick Tate's fan club, Brian Johnson's page. I'm not sure what's going on here. Jan says, I'm here because on Facebook somehow the sound go out of sync and makes his computer freeze. Michael Hodges is here. So if anybody's out there that isn't receiving this, jump on the YouTube link and I can post that right now.
Absolutely. All right. Well, So Jeffrey Morris is going to be coming on soon to talk a lot about the Kickstarter. Obviously, Nick Tate and Brian Johnson will be chiming in around a little bit later in the show. Obviously, if you have any questions, go ahead and shoot them into the YouTube chat, and we will try to do our best to get to your questions as best we can. We are very excited about this whole Kickstarter business that's going to be going on for the Eagle documentary. The Eagle Has Landed. It's obviously going to be professionally made. Jeffrey Morris is really. I'm extremely excited that he's involved in it. That this is his baby. He's probably going to. He's definitely going to be putting in the time and effort and the quality into this show. So I'm really excited about it. We're doing what we can to help him out as consultants or whatever. But we're actually honored to have all three on our show today. So he'll be joining us very shortly. So Todd, you're in Florida.
Yeah. I don't have my Space 1999 stuff with me. My dad passed away last week, so I am in Florida and hoping that this works. So
sorry to hear that, man. I'm really sorry. You got my condolences.
Yeah. You got the okay.
So Steve Bushell, hi from UK. Tim Smith, Commander Tim is here. Hey Tim, from Birmingham. I'm still assuming that you're from Birmingham, Alabama, not England. David Boyer's there. Hello all. I'm not sure who JC20101 is. Hey guys, do you know JC20101?
I've seen him on here before. I just can't remember who he is.
Yeah. Yeah, Jan offers his condolences. Anyway, so with regards to the Eagle contest, I have the 3 behind me. I'm probably going to be sending those in the middle of October, but we're going to be announcing the names here a little bit in our show. I believe Ron has provided us with those particular names already. Let's see here. Yep, looks like the winners have already been selected. So we will announce those winners a little bit later. I'm probably I'll let Jeffrey announce the winners, but we all got the notification, so that's awesome. There was a little bit of a randomizer type program that I think that they were running in order to select the names. I'd like to know how many participants actually entered to win, but as you know, the winners will receive either the Eagle 2, the Rescue Eagle. These are the pre-builts from NBC, or the Mattel Eagle, which we that's going to be the luckiest of the winners right there. So I'm excited for all of you guys.
Yeah, me too.
See, I was kind of whooshing. Is that the right word? Whooshing my 12-inch Project Enterprise Eagle, the old Eagle from back in 2003. Do you realize that these things are 20 years old now? This is amazing.
What is it?
The original Project Enterprise Eagle. These are from 2003.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is crazy. What's even crazier is those kits up at the top there. The original 1975 kits from Fundimensions. Those are good grief, 48 years old. That's just nuts. And we're still here, which is good.
Ron said 2,000 people entered for this.
Wow, that is just unbelievable. Thanks, Ron. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's just amazing. So when Jeffrey comes on, he'll definitely make the announcement to that, and I'll definitely I'll get those out. I'm doing the logistics, so I'll get those out to you in the middle of October. Whooshing is definitely a word. Yeah, absolutely. I don't normally whoosh too much with the 88, but I do sometimes whoosh with the 44s. Those are kind of whooshable, but the 12-inch is my favorite to whoosh with. Absolutely. Of course, unless you fancy a green dinky eagle, and we've been whooshing with those for pretty close to 50 years.
Yeah. Whooshing is definitely a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Jeffrey ready?
That looks like Jeffrey's in the backstage, so I'm gonna.
Oh, sweet! Bring him on! Bring him on!
Mr. Jeffrey Morris.
Howdy, boys.
Hi.
How you guys doing?
Doing good. Happy Breakaway Day Eve.
All right. Good times.
Almost like Christmas.
Yeah. How are you guys doing?
Doing good.
Good to see you.
I'm representing pretty well.
That's some serious representing going on there. Do I spy a couple of Eagle giveaway Eagles back there?
Yes, you do.
Oh,
yes, you do.
Okay.
Absolutely. Eagle 2 and the Rescue Eagle are pretty much prepped and on deck, ready to go.
That's great. That's fantastic. Well, you got your 8-footer there next to you too, right? Right on.
I do. My 88-inch. Yeah. 7 foot 4 inches.
Oh, 7 foot 4.
I would love to call it the 8-footer though. If I could.
Yeah, it does sound nice when you say the 8-footer, but yeah. But it's enormous and beautiful. What a great thing you got there. Now you got what is it? A Rescue Eagle recently?
I did. Yeah. The 44-inch 1612. That was the latest. Number 5 44-inch. The top 3 are hand built or handmade.
Okay.
The bottom 2 are 1612.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
Yep.
All right. And Todd, how are you today?
This is actually medicine to get away from what I'm doing down here. So
yeah.
I'm glad to be joining you guys.
Good. Well, thanks for your patience and lots of really, really cool things happening. We'll be sharing with everybody a big article that space.com just did on our project. And it's unbelievable coverage. It's fantastic. So it's just the beginning. And we have so many people who are interested in coming on board with what we're doing, and I'm just super excited to share this whole thing with the world. I mean, it's been what a great project, and it's been a lot of fun developing this with you guys and the team and everyone. So yeah, good times.
We're definitely honored to be a part of that team there, Mr. Morris.
Yep,
Cool.
Me too.
Yeah. So real quick, we got a couple of winners here. Should we announce the winners?
You can if you want. We wanted to save the honor for you, sir.
Okay. All right. So we've got 3 winners here. So the and we should say that we had over 2,100 entries, which was fantastic.
Amazing.
So a lot of people from all around the world who entered for this thing and everything. And so and you know, when I had the idea of doing the giveaway, one, I mean, obviously we wanted to drive interest in the Kickstarter and ultimately in the film itself, right? Which is super important. But I also know that there are a lot of people all around the world who wish they could have an eagle, who for one reason or another just never got one or didn't have access to it or whatever. And I thought it'd be really neat to give the opportunity to for people to actually be able to attain one, you know, and have a good high quality. And those pre-builts are so fantastic. And I own a couple of them myself. And so I thought it'd be really cool to give a couple of them away to spread the love with the fans. So, which is cool. So, so we've got the Eagle 2 winner, and the name I see here is someone named Kev Harris. Kev Harris is the winner of the Eagle 2 pre-built.
Congratulations.
And
yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, so Kev Harris, you won the Eagle 2 pre-built, and then the Rescue Eagle pre-built is going to a gentleman named Michael Christofield. Yeah, Michael Christofield.
Very cool.
Yeah,
very cool. Congratulations.
Yep. So he won the Rescue Eagle, and then my good old fashioned 50-year-old, almost 50-year-old Mattel Eagle, which is in pretty darn good shape. That is going to be going to George Wilson Sr. And yeah, George Wilson Sr. So that's Kev Harris, Michael Christofield, George Wilson Sr. And I should say that all these winners, you know, out of the entries, the 2,000 plus entries, we used a really cool digital randomizer to go through and pick, and that's how we ended up coming up with those 3 names. So congratulations to all 3 of you, and we'll be getting those models out to you within the next 4 to 6 weeks. You know, sooner if possible, but that's the plan. So we'll also announce this on social media, and that'll be out later today. But you heard it here first. So.
Yes, sir. We got us some winners.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Congratulations, winners. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah. So I don't know what else. What else you guys want to talk about today?
Well, the Mattel Eagle, it's scheduled to come here today. Like I was telling you guys last night, I'm going to be doing some extensive photography on it. I want to put some other stuff together for it, and then you know, I'll probably post a nice article as well as a kind of a status update on where we're at with you know, the ensemble.
Oh, great.
Because it does need I want to give it a little bit of
it needs some love.
TLC.
Oh, there's no question. It's been well taken care of, considering it's been around for so long and had kids play with it and all kinds of things. But you know, but it's yeah, I'm super excited to see what you can do with it. But I think it's going to be a worthwhile gift for somebody.
Absolutely.
I'm pretty excited about it. And again, it's been a lot of fun seeing people come to the website, give entries, give us their information, share stories, all this stuff. So, you know, it wasn't, like I said, it's not just about the Kickstarter for us. It's also about our personal love. All 3 of us here, we all love this thing.
Oh yeah.
You know, we know thousands of people all around the world, more than that, who love this. So it's really cool to be. You know what's been shocking to me is the amount of positivity I've had, like just running into people who they're like, well, what are you working on? Oh, I'm doing this documentary about this. And what's that? And you'll talk about it, and they'll go, oh, I remember that. I heard of that, or I had one of those. I mean, there's so much, or my brother had one of those. There's just so much. I'm shocked by how much memory there is around this, collective memory there is. There's a lot of nostalgia, and it's very cool. So
yeah, it's very iconic. I think a lot of people can resonate with it, especially growing up, especially if they didn't even watch the show. They probably saw the toy in the store and wanted it.
Well, Todd, you hadn't seen the show. You just saw right at first when you first.
The eagle is what got me to the show.
Yeah.
I had a neighbor that had built one of the 12-inch kits like he's got back there on his display there, and I was just totally fascinated by that. I mean, I picked it out of the whole room of models. I was like, what is that? And he let me hold on to it and told me about it. And I immediately ran home and said, we need to find Space 1999 on the TV channel.
TV, yeah.
And I think
How old were you? How old were you?
I want to say, I think I was 10.
About 10.
I think 10 or 11.
Yeah.
And he's a little bit older than me, so he was, into a lot of sci-fi. And I was already a Trekkie, so.
Now, was this down in Indiana or?
Yeah, in Indiana, in actually where I was born in Muncie, Indiana.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was it was pretty. I think I bugged him so much he gave me the eagle. I think that's the way I got my first model.
Yeah, that's nice of him. Yeah.
So, really cool. But then I started, hunting down the seasons and all that stuff. It might have been into the second season on TV at that point because I had to actually go back and watch the first season. But yeah, it was. I was just mystified.
Were you into sci-fi? You said you were a Trekkie. So tell us about that. What was being a Trekkie for you?
Me and my dad sat down and watched Star Trek for I probably saw it on a commercial or something, and we just I can't remember how I first got into it. It had to be something like that. Maybe it come on one night when we were watching TV, and I was like, "What's this?" Enterprise, captured everything, and then I just got hooked on from there. I like all the other Star Treks, but the original series is my baby.
Oh, sure.
That was really what I was raised up on.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I think without the original series, we wouldn't have any of it. And I grew up watching that too. And I used to watch it every day after school, and I just thought it was it was so cool to see this vision of what the future could be and where things could go, and seeing human beings sort of have worked out all their problems, and then they're out in the universe running into new problems, and all that. So it's pretty cool. It was pretty cool storytelling, and
it was definitely after.
There's nothing like it. There was nothing like it, and everything. And then, now I think when Space 1999 came on, I think I was excited for that because of the moon base and the Eagles, and seeing, because Star Trek was 300 years in the future, right? And the other thing with Star Trek that bugged me is it didn't go to Earth. I wanted them to go to Earth in that show. I wanted to see what Earth was like, in the original Star Trek. And so it was really cool to it felt like Space 1999 was closer to us, and that we could grow up and be part of it, which was really cool, and everything. That was part of what I was really excited for with that. So yeah, for sure.
And it's not so distant in the future that we could actually see ourselves in there.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So I think that's a big part of it. So were there, I'm going to only be able to be with you guys I'm working, on everything with the Kickstarter, getting it launched and everything. So I won't be able to, but it's not all Star Wars and Star Trek. Yeah, that's
Nice.
true. That is true. That's true.
He has a really good sense of humor. I like him.
Now I'm super. One of the biggest, most exciting aspects of this for me is going to be to travel to Denmark and hang out with Jan and get to know him and see his enormous.
Yeah, he'll probably let you sit on top of the that enormous eagle. Get you a good photo shoot.
Yeah, no, I mean, that thing's amazing. That is just crazy. I really want to go through and understand. We can make a documentary just about that, so it's just.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he's basically done that already. He's made a lot of footage of his, his trials and tribulations of assembly.
Yeah. No, it's really, really cool. So, and he's also had some wonderful coverage there in Denmark, right, from TV news and others, and newspapers and stuff. So it's a worthy story. It's interesting. So I've got to get it into the actual documentary too. So
speaking of the Kickstarter, that kicks off tomorrow.
Yes, it does. Yeah, tomorrow we are going to launch it exactly at midnight Eastern time. Okay, so midnight Eastern time. This is right. So that'll be 6 a.m. in the UK. That's when we're launching, and we're super excited about it. Part of why I wanted to launch that early was because I want we have so many people in the UK and elsewhere in the world who are interested in this. I want them to have access to it. So those of us over here, I mean, I guess, hopefully there'll be some people in the US who will, set their alarm, or maybe wake up. But
it's 5 hours difference.
Yeah. What's that?
It's 5 hours difference.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry, I'm in the Midwest. So
you said Eastern, so it's like 5 hours. So
yeah, so 5 hours. Yeah. So let's see. I did. I looked at. I'll have to pull it up again. I thought I looked at the time thing, but maybe it's 5. Yeah, I don't know. So is it 5 a.m. then? I guess
it'd be 5 a.m.
It'd be 5 a.m. Okay. What time is it in the UK right now? It's
6:30, I think.
6:30. Okay.
Either 6:30 or 7:30. I can't remember.
7:24 p.m.
Okay, so it's for me. It's that's 6 hours from me. So
yeah, you're central.
Right, central. So 6. Okay, so it's 5 for you.
Yep.
Okay. So if we do midnight, we do midnight Eastern. It'll be 5 a.m. in the UK. Got it.
Yep.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Okay. So I was thinking about the Central Time. So I'm in flyover land. So
but I'm excited. You gave us the honor to kind of preview the Kickstarter with all the stuff that's going on in it. Mm-hmm. I cannot wait till you go live with this thing and show off the world of what you got in store for this documentary. It's just going to be amazing. All of the thought and all of the hard work that you put into this in order to make this a quality documentary. I cannot wait to see the results, first of all, and then second, I hope that it's very successful one way or the other.
Well, thank you, Gordon. I appreciate that. I really do. When you think about that preview I gave you, what are some of the things that stood out for you that were some of the?
Well, I like that you are really fan focused, that you're really showing off a lot of how the Eagle inspired folks at all walks of life, whether you're man or woman, whatever background you come from, there was a lot of inspiration from the Eagle or maybe parts of Moonbase Alpha that have really resonated with a lot of folks, that they grew up to be pilots, scientists, computer nerds like me, medical profession, whatever it is, it all was not impossible. And there was a lot of inspiration coming from that. And you're focusing on that, which I really like.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, obviously, one of the things that's very easy to do in these situations is to just, go the Hollywood angle and just, what do these celebrities think of the Eagle, and everything, which we'll have some of that. We definitely have some of that. And I think obviously that's an interesting part of the story. And I think it's a surprising part of the story too, when you deal with or interact with celebrities and you go, whoa, that guy likes this thing that we all like. That's very cool. but I don't think you can miss that fan story, as you're saying. And I think that's the heart of this. And I'm really excited to explore that and deal with it. I also want to get heavily into, how it was made, how it was developed. It's one of those things when you're doing a documentary, we only have a finite amount of time. We got to keep this under 2 hours, right? And so there's only so much content you can do. You can, one, as we've talked about before, this is not a Space 1999 documentary. While it is, there are aspects and discussions of Space 1999. It's really focused on the Eagle and its impact on people like us and how it continues to, and how was it created? How was it developed? We're not going to, we have to stay at a high level on a lot of this. We're not going to go down into the level of how many girders are on the, the spine of the Eagle, or it's you know what I mean. But because you have to keep this at a level where the pop cultural people can see. I'm hoping people who have never heard of this will watch this documentary.
Sure.
Millions of people, right?
Sure.
And I think the idea here is so imagine. One of the things I want the fans to realize with this is two things. One, this is our opportunity to celebrate something we all care about. Great, that's number one. But number two, it's our opportunity to share something that we all care about with a broader audience, a broader world, and to actually show them, hey, this is actually pretty cool. You may not have heard of it, but it's pretty awesome and everything, right? And I also want people to see that it's not just about it would be cool if this got some people to watch Space 1999 and maybe get into the merchandise and stuff. But I also want the bigger overarching story for me is remembering how we all used to see the future and how important that was and how much that meant to a whole generation of people. And I think to me, the underlying hypothesis of this exploration, this documentary, this study is that I think Ron,
I figured there was something there.
What does Chris Hemsworth think of the Eagle? No, but no, the underlying hypothesis of the hypothesis of this entire thing to me is that I think we all love the Eagle because we lost the future we all thought we were going to get. That's what I really think this is about. I think a lot of us wanted to grow up to fly something like the Eagle. I think a lot of us wanted to grow up to be on Moonbase Alpha. I think a lot of us wanted to be part of that world and everything. Jan, we could have a director's cut, sure. the 6-hour director's cut, director's edition, with over 1
want to see the bloopers reel
features.
The bloopers
that showcase Jan's Eagle.
True. I want to see the bloopers reel.
Yeah, that'll be interesting too. So yeah. Well, we probably could do an entire reel of just people. You know what I want to do is I want to do a Dragon's Domain messed up my childhood reel.
Yeah.
that's what I want to do. Like I just the other night I had an email from somebody. I'm getting people from all around the world reaching out to me, going, "Oh, I think this is so cool what you're doing," and and by the way, were you really scared when you were a child watching Dragon's Domain? It's like, I think I've talked to you guys about that. That like the two things that I've heard people talk about are, man, that Eagle's really cool. What about that one episode? Do you ever see that episode with that thing, that monster that kind of looks like a car wash? Did you ever see that? That scared me. Like, that's a consistent theme. So I really do think that there's got to be a Dragon's Domain cut of this. So
absolutely.
But no, we'll find ways to do all kinds of great stuff with extras and additional content and everything. The thing that I want the fans to help us achieve are the stretch goals, because it's not just the documentary itself. The stretch goals, which, like, number one, new visual effects, where Brian and I work together to create a whole bunch of new visual effects sequences. How about that? I mean, that's really cool, including some use of miniatures, not just all CG, but miniatures and CG mixed together. Because if they could have used CG back then, he would have some, I'm sure, but he wouldn't have necessarily relied on it. But imagine now being able to do the things that you couldn't have done 50 years ago while still respecting the work that was done 50 years ago. If you've seen some of the shots that I did, have already done for this piece so far, I was really trying to do some updates and almost an homage to some of the shots and everything. So that's been a lot of fun. So that's one stretch goal. Number two is I want to do a virtual tour of the Eagle. I mean, I have a team that's actually building. They built the interior of the Eagle, but they've also built they built the exterior, and they're building the hangar in full detail. The hangar.
That interior is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're talking about is doing this thing where it'll literally look like I'm walking around the outside of the Eagle, telling you all about it, and Brian's kind of talking me through it and everything, which would be a lot of fun. Like, so this is the blah blah, and this is how this works, and this is now. So you imagine that this whole virtual tour of the Eagle that makes it feel like we're using some of the same technology that they used to do the Mandalorian and some of the new Star Wars shows, stuff like that. We've already used some of that technology. You've seen it in some of the promotional stuff we've done. So, so that's really cool. And then the third stretch goal is really the one I'm probably the most excited about is doing a complete rebuild of the interior of the Eagle, from the cockpit all the way through the passenger module, and building it out at full scale, full detail, at museum quality, so that people could actually tour it and be inside it. And my hope is that if that gets built and completed, we can actually, this sort of Eagle simulator, we can get that to some of these events that are coming up in the for the 50th anniversary and everything. Imagine being able to have your photo taken sitting inside the Eagle. You're sitting in the cockpit of the Eagle, and everything. So that's
no more sci-fi air show just wishing. This will be the real deal.
This will be the real deal. Yeah, right. Yeah. And speaking of sci-fi air show, Bill George, the creator of that, he's going to be in this documentary, which is really exciting. So
that is awesome.
Very excited to have Bill on board. Great guy, and I'm hoping he'll consult with us on all this stuff as well. So so I wanted to share with everybody the goals beyond just making this great documentary. We want this to be something that's even more than that. So
here's a thing of everybody, but that's not on the show today, that's participating in your documentary.
Cool. Yeah.
So we got there's Bill George, there's Kevin Anderson and Jamie Anderson, and there's Jan down there in next to the big old Eagle.
Yeah. Hey, Jan, if who's your friend that's in that photo with you? Can you tell us his name? I want to make sure I tell people who that is, because people go, "Who's that guy with him?" So I want to make sure I get that name correctly. When you get a chance, just send me that info. I'd like to have it. But yeah, we've got tons of. Well, the other thing is that's not on there is Barbara Baines in this documentary, which is super cool.
That is exciting.
Yeah, that's right. Barbara Baines in this, which is going to be great. I mean, I'm actually going to talk to her a lot about what it was like to film inside these futuristic sets and everything, and what it was like to sort of depict the future. That's the story I want to talk to her about. And then there was there's so much time she spent inside the Eagle for episodes like The Last Sunset, and then she even blew it up, blew the Eagle up in that episode. Yeah. So I think there's some stuff that Barbara and I have to talk about. I'm really excited that she agreed to be part of this. So
that's awesome.
I mean, come on, it's like having a legend,
Yes,
be part of this is fantastic. So
and I think you want to talk to this guy too.
Well, that guy. Oh my gosh,
Mr. Nick Tate.
Nick.
Hi. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, man. How you doing?
Fabulous.
Good to see you.
Myself a big cup of coffee.
All right. Sounds good.
Now, didn't I send you one home with one of those?
Yes, I've got a Space 1999, but this is a bigger mug.
I'll have to order you an extra large one next time.
Yeah, okay, buddy. God bless.
Well,
so where are we at?
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, we announced our winners of our contest, and then tomorrow we're launching this whole Kickstarter to get this thing off the ground and get this thing funded and produced. That's where we are.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
We are excited.
Yeah.
And all credit to you, Jeffrey, for the hard work you're putting in. You're very talented and very deserving. So I'm behind you, buddy.
Oh man, thank you. I can't tell you how much that means. It's a huge deal. Thank you so much.
Sure thing. Yeah. Well, I recognize talent.
No, thank you, Nick. Thank you, man. That's a huge deal. It's I'm brushing up on my golf skills for our segment.
Oh yeah, well,
Yeah.
don't get too good because I've started getting bad.
I guarantee you, there's no way. Yeah, no, it's gonna be
I'm
fun.
playing bogey golf these days.
Okay.
Occasionally, I have the pars, and one or two birdies, maybe every other week. But look, hey, 81 years of age. I'm out there. I'm above the grass, and that's the best part.
That's what matters. That's what
right.
matters. Yep.
That's right.
What
Good
matters.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we'll get out there and have a little fun. We'll have some fun. It'll be good. It'll
Sure,
be
sure.
good.
When are you
I'm
going to be in
excited.
town?
Well, I mean, we're targeting to shoot this segment with you in November, December, somewhere in there. So later in the year and everything. So
Here in LA.
in LA, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, fabulous.
Yeah. Yeah, and I figure we can do that. Then I pushed all the California part of the shoot to later because of it's warmer there, and everything. So hopefully we'll have good weather, decent weather,
November?
Well, compared to where I live,
Yeah.
Yes.
okay, it's a lot better in November there than it is here. So.
Yeah, we will not be having any snow on the ground here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, by November, it's possible. November, December, I could have a foot of snow out there. So in
I'm
Minneapolis.
just trying to center myself because I'm looking at a screen where I can see you, but that means my eyes are way off camera. Because
Yeah.
isn't
No,
this
I'm
what
always doing that too.
supposed to be
It's
looking
interesting. I'm always wondering about getting one of these things where makes it like you're looking at the center. Because I'm always like looking off.
What I want one of those. Where do you get those from?
There's something. I'll send it to you. There's something I saw that you can use to center yourself so you can look more straight ahead. So.
Right.
Yeah, well, of course, if we're using an iPhone, it's a little simpler because they're right there. But
Yeah.
I'm on a big iPad here, so
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did the same thing with my laptop, and I should be looking up here, so everybody. But then I'm looking down here and over here, and
yeah. I've got a laptop. I've got so many pieces of equipment that my children, who are all technical wizards, they use with great aplomb, but not me. I want to stick with one thing I really understand.
Cool.
hey Jeffrey, did you want to show anything pertaining to the Kickstarter, the video, anything like that?
Oh, I mean, do we want to show the Kickstarter video?
Sure. I mean,
Let's
whatever.
do it. Yeah, do
Not-
you have it queued up?
Not everybody's seen it.
Yeah. Do you have it, or do you want me to pull it up, or do you have it? You want to?
You probably have it.
If you give me a second,
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll find it on YouTube.
I'd sure love to see it again.
Yeah.
Nick, you're amazing at the beginning of that video too, by the way, just to let you know.
Really?
I think
How
so.
extraordinary.
Yeah.
How extraordinary.
Extraordinary. You are Jurassic Park extraordinary.
Jurassic Park extraordinary.
All right, so I can share screen. Is that the deal?
I believe so.
Okay, give me a second here.
If not, just let me know. I'll let you.
Or here, you want me to just send you the link?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, let me do that.
But I'm glad you're not asking me to do any of this stuff.
All right, let's put it through the chat there for you. So, Nick, can you share the video to get the?
No, I couldn't
That's
even
funny.
fly the eagle, buddy, but I pretended I could.
Yeah.
Pretended.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I love, doing all that stuff, reaching out and touching all the instruments and looking like I knew exactly what I was doing.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
you
did
even-
because I knew what I was doing. And then when fans say to me 25 years later, when you did the acapella, and I go, no. And they go, yes, you used to do it every week. I go, oh, well, I don't remember.
So do you remember
can
pulling
guess
the
this.
card? Do you remember pulling out one of those computer cards out of the panel and then making it blow up somehow when you slammed it back in?
What do you want me to tell you, Gordon, that I do remember?
Yeah.
Well, it blew up in your face.
Is this a trick question? Buddy, the show was 50 years ago. You kids weren't even born, right?
Well, actually, I was.
Yeah, we were born. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Jeffrey wasn't.
We were youngsters.
Yes, I was.
Jeffrey
yes,
loves
I was.
you.
Come on, you're not.
Oh, yes, I was.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
were too much of a baby to remember. Your
No,
mother
man, I was when I first saw Space 1999, I was 7 years old. I was
Okay.
7. Yeah. So.
And did it mean anything to you at 7?
Oh, it did. Oh, yeah. No, totally got it.
Wow.
Totally got it. Totally got it. 100%. 100%.
You know, I'm a bit pissed with my son. He's 44 years of age. He's got an 11-year-old son and a 9-year-old daughter, and he has never shown them Space 1999.
Oh, my God.
I say, why not? He said, oh, it's too scary, Nick. It's too scary for them.
Mr. Brian Johnson's joined us.
Oh, my God. Look, a legend. Hello, Brian.
Oh, Brian.
Another legend. Yep.
Hi, I'm as deaf as a post here. I can't hardly hear anybody saying anything.
Well,
Must
you
be
sound a
my
bit muffly.
phone.
Have you got a sock over your microphone?
What?
You sound muffly. Does he sound muffly to you guys?
Let me see if I can
I've got
enjoy
it turned up full.
We can hear you well. It's
We
just,
can hear you.
Yeah, it's.
Can
Not
you hear us?
Is that any better?
There's always something.
I know we're having difficulties today on some stuff.
Hey, Brian, can you hear me clearly? It's Nick. No response.
So frustrating.
Oh, dear me. Oh, I'm the last person to ask.
I adjusted your mic a little bit, Brian. Can you hear us better now?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I can do more.
Hello, Brian. It's Nick Tate. Can you hear me?
Hi, Nick.
Oh, good.
There we go. Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, mate.
Yeah.
I want to make his face bigger. How do I do that?
I can
Because
do
I've
it.
got all 5 of you on the screen. I'd love. Yeah, good. Thank you. There he is. Look at him. Oh my God, you're still beautiful. We must be about the same age, buddy.
84.
Ah, okay. You are a couple of years older than I am. I'm 81.
Yeah, I was born before the Second World War. My parents said that I caused it.
Oh,
Oh.
Jesus Christ. Did they stop blaming you for things thereafter, or what?
Sounds gone bad again.
Oh, the sound's gone again. Well, you still got all your hair, buddy. You know that's a.
No,
triumph.
it's very thin now.
You're
I'd
doing
love
better
very-
than us.
I would love very thin hair.
You have to choose your parents very carefully.
Yes, yes. Well, I got one brother who's bolder than I am, and another one who's got more hair than you. So I don't understand the genetics of life.
How it all works. You know, Brian, I always noticed in photos you were very always very stylish. Your clothing that you wore.
Oh,
Yeah.
Very trendy guy.
Yeah, he had very stylish clothes in all those old photos that we'd see from during the production and everything. Yeah. Could you
I'm
hear
playing
me?
with my earpiece because the sound is coming and going. Damn it.
Okay. Todd, could he hear you? Let's see.
I've got him turned up.
Okay.
I'm hearing all of you very well.
Yeah,
Including-
it's so annoying.
Brian, can you hear us now?
Just about.
Okay.
I've got these earbuds in because without those, I won't hear anything.
Okay. No, I was saying, if you can hear me, I was saying that you always had such stylish clothing in all the archival photos that we would see. You were
Oh.
very stylish.
I never thought of that. But
I thought it looks intentional.
it's very kind of you to say so.
Yeah.
You know, when you're a trendy guy, you just can't help it. I mean, you always were very trendy.
Yeah.
And you're an artist, and why not?
Yeah, he looks like an artist. Yeah, absolutely. Do we want to show the video real quick, Todd, while we're here?
Yeah, I can do that. Let me see if I can share my screen. Hold on. Jumped right up in there in the beginning. I don't know what was going on.
Got a lot of clicking.
That's
Brian.
Brian working on his.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna see if I can share my screen.
Look at that.
Oh, it's not working, damn it.
We're definitely hearing you fine.
This is what's so frustrating. So when's it all going to happen, guys? Is it tomorrow that
Yeah,
the
we
big day
launch
happens?
tomorrow. We launch tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show
Right.
the.
Yeah.
Hey Brian, I'm gonna show the Kickstarter video. I'm gonna do
Okay.
that right now.
Here we go. Finally.
Did it show up? Okay.
Yeah, it's showing up.
All right. I just want to make sure before I started it.
Can you
Hi
make it
there.
big?
You can hit the full screen.
Be part of the new documentary, The Eagle Has Landed. An exclusive look starts now.
50 years ago, an icon was born. The Eagle transporter is one of the greatest sci-fi spacecraft ever conceived. To this day, the design provokes an intense devotion among countless fans around the world. The question is, why? I'm writer-director Jeffrey Morris. I've been enamored with the Eagle since I first saw it in the TV series Space 1999 back in 1975. As a child who followed the Apollo program, the Eagle felt like a direct descendant of NASA's lunar module. Those transformative moon missions left an indelible impact on a generation, as did the Eagle in Space 1999. Over the years, I've discovered that I'm just one of millions of fans who has an affection for the Eagle and a nostalgia for a future we never achieved. So I'm shooting a feature documentary about the origins of this beloved ship, while also exploring its ongoing cultural impact. And I'm inviting you to join me. I'll be speaking with the Eagle's designer, visual effects wizard Brian Johnson. I'll also chat with Nick Tate, the actor who played legendary pilot Captain Alan Carter. It's going to be an epic journey as I travel around the globe to speak with Eagle aficionados and luminaries from the worlds of science and science fiction. As for myself, the visionary world building in Space 1999 blew my mind. It ultimately inspired me to become a filmmaker and production designer. I'm the creator of hard sci-fi projects such as the forthcoming deep space adventure Persephone, the apocalyptic underwater thriller Oceanus, and the universe-hopping techno-fantasy Parallel Man. Now I'm bringing all of my experience and passion to the creation of this documentary. The good news is we've already begun production. We self-financed a shoot in Louisville, Kentucky at Wonderfest, where I spoke with lifelong Eagle fans from around the country. They shared passionate stories about the iconic vessel and the aspects that make it so memorable. Then I traveled to Colorado, where I interviewed Kevin J. Anderson, the best-selling author of books set in the Dune, Star Wars, and X-Files universes. He also happens to be a huge fan of Space 1999. Recently, Kevin and I co-authored the novelization of my film Persephone. We had a blast discussing our mutual love of the Eagle and what it represents. Yet, there's still plenty left to do. I have to hire production crews at locations around the world. I also need to create visual effects and music. And of course, it all has to be edited together at a level that will rival any award-winning documentary. Now I'm asking for your assistance in completing the voyage. Check out our Kickstarter. There are tons of great rewards and even a couple of awesome stretch goals. A future began 50 years ago, and its time is now. Become a supporter of The Eagle Has Landed.
All right.
So Jeffrey, doing a little
Very
math.
good. I heard that okay,
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good.
Good.
but I can't hear you guys.
You
Eagle
can't hear us,
has
though.
great footage of the Eagle there.
Oh, thank you.
Very exciting and looking every bit up to date. You know,
Oh,
the stuff you'd imagine is out there right now with Elon Musk and stuff. It's wonderful.
you know, it was fun doing those new visual effects shots. That was was something I really wanted to put my heart and soul into and make them as good as I could, you know, for obviously we're just getting started, right? But I wanted to show everyone what new visual effects of the Eagle could look like and how they could work. So yeah, so that's what we did with that, and I feel really good about it. It was a lot of fun. So so thank you, Nick. I appreciate that very much.
Did you have your own Eagle and you shot it in a dark room?
No, that was done. That we actually did computer generated visual effects for that. We actually had a very detailed 3D model of the Eagle, and I worked through it. These guys actually, Todd and Gordon, got to see all the pre visualizations we did of it. So we did a lot of passes and looks and feel to figure out how it would look to make it look realistic. And so I did a lot of work with it and everything. So
amazing stuff.
Yeah. And the whole goal for me was to make it feel like there was actually a camera person out in space shooting.
Absolutely. And
that was
that's
right.
Wonderful. Yeah. You agree, Brian?
And then the interior of the Eagle, I was able to recreate that. We built a 3D model in a video game engine that makes the Eagle. So I have it now. We have the whole outside of the Eagle done too, and the hangar. But at that point we had just the inside of it, and so we were able to make it look like I was standing inside the Eagle, and the Eagle moves and tracks like you're walking through it. It's really something. So
wow.
You want me to show the video of all the different?
Yeah, the visual effects. Sure. There's one more video that kind of compiles all the visual effects shots that I've done in the last couple of months. So
here you go.
We could make another series. Huh?
Doesn't that make you want to whoosh all day long with your favorite Eagle?
Well, the final shot in there, Brian, was you know the shot in Breakaway where the Eagle's heading toward the moon in Breakaway, right. In the opening credits, right after the opening credits, where it shows the title and says Breakaway. My last shot there, where I was trying to reinterpret that shot. That was the idea.
You did it so much better. You've got stars in the right places. We could never do that.
Sure. Yeah. I get that. And then I also, I tried to have the camera track with the Eagle as it, passed by and head over, and then you had the moon changing scale and everything. So I was just trying to do it the way I thought you would want to do it 50 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, they're great shots, Jeffrey.
Thank you very much, Brian. That's a huge honor. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
I'm equally very impressed. Do you have a shot inside the cockpit?
Not yet, but we will. We're working on it. Yeah, we're working on it.
That's like the TARDIS.
Yeah, right.
Keith Wilson's interior was so much bigger than my
sit inside that cockpit. Can you put a piece of me in that cockpit?
I think we can. And the other thing, bear in mind also, I'm working with the team at Pinewood Studios. The idea is if the Kickstarter goes well, we're going to rebuild it. We're going to build it in full scale. and that's I would really want to get you in there, So
My pool man's just arrived and my dog's going crazy.
no.
Piggy, shut up. Sorry.
He's like, who are all these people you're talking to, Daddy?
Well, the pool guy's just arrived.
The pool guy. I like that airplane, Nick. You got back there, the airplane on
Yeah,
the wall.
well, we got that for my son when he was a kid, and instead of throwing it away, I mean, it's a real work of art. It's huge. It's very, very heavy wood. It's about 3 feet by 3 feet.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I mean, it looks a little bit like a Spitfire. I'm not sure what airplane it was, but we've always kept it, and it just happened to be in the back of my shot there. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it looks great. We like it.
Yeah, I thought it might be interesting as a pilot. There I am there.
There you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
I see this comment from Joe. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Yeah. So those effect shots, by the way, were created by a gentleman named Tobias Richter, who is he's a company called the Lightworks, and he's in Cologne, Germany. And Tobias and I have worked together on a couple of other projects, and he built that really high resolution detailed eagle a couple of years ago. And so when I started this project, I was like, hey, can we work together and do some new shots? And so then I
bet you did.
yeah, so it all worked out. It's great. And so, and like I said, I can't wait to show you guys what I want to do with the documentary, and everything. So I wanted to add that something that's been interesting was we were able to get this to ITV. ITV obviously owns Space 1999, so it was very important that they had signed off on this, and they were good with it, which took us a couple of weeks to kind of get through the system there and everything, but they're good and they're happy with this, and we licensed everything, and we're working together with them now.
I would think they'd be ecstatic about it, because it means that they can maybe put the show on again and get it revitalized.
We'll see what happens. Right. I mean, the one thing that does keep coming up is people keep asking, can we get more? Can we make more? Can we remake it? Can we create something new? And my thought is, if you do anything like that, you got to keep the Eagles and the aesthetic of the show the same. You have to figure out a way to do that, because it was fantastic, and I think it's unrivaled. So let's see what happens. Let's make a great documentary first, right? Yep. Let's get that done, and then we'll see what happens from there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, well, great. I'm going to have to sign off here in a moment, guys. But do you have any other quick questions or anything? Does anybody in the audience want to ask any quick questions about the documentary or Kickstarter or anything? I want to make sure I can answer those before I take off.
That was your answer to Jan's helper.
Thank you. Okay, Lawrence. Okay. All right.
Great seeing you guys.
Yeah. Absolutely. And Brian, if all goes well, which I believe it will, I will be over next month to to work with you, and it'll be a lot of fun. I'm really excited. I want us to go back to Bray, and then also do some stuff at Pinewood with you and everything, which should be great. So we'll get it all planned out. We'll start figuring it out. Okay, it'll be great.
And I'll see you in November.
Yeah, and then you'll see me in November. Yeah, exactly. So, okay. Oh, and Jan, as far as we plan to have the documentary in the can by the end of this year, but we have to do all the post-production and visual effects and everything. So by next summer, the target is for it to be completed. And then anybody who contributes to the Kickstarter will be able to watch it on a streaming link. We're going to give, access that way. And then also you can buy it you'll have it as a Blu-ray or that sort of thing. But, we're really excited about this project, guys, and we couldn't do it without all of you. So thank you so much for joining us and believing in me and helping us get this thing off the ground. We'll get it done. So
it's great to know we've got somebody with your technical and artistic expertise, Jeffrey. Oh. That's the combination that we need.
Yeah, thank you, Nick.
Well
thank
done.
you very much. Yep. All right, gentlemen. I'm gonna sign off. Great seeing you.
We're gonna stick around. We'll see you later, Jeffrey.
Okay, we'll see you guys soon. Okay, talk to you later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Great to see you.
Oh, where'd he go? There he is.
So,
Brian.
Are we going to stay on for any period of time?
Sure. I thought Brian was going to stay, but he must have thought it was time to go.
Maybe he didn't quite understand. You could send him a message because I'm sure there are people that want to ask him questions.
Yeah, I'll send him a message.
I don't know if he's still watching. Brian, come back to us. We miss you, baby. So good to see him. Really,
Yeah.
he hasn't changed. Extraordinary.
It is amazing. He talks about his thin hair, but at least he's got something to color.
Yes. Yes. I'm kind of used to not having any hair, and it's kind of weird. I feel somebody tried to put a hairpiece on me the other day for a joke, and I hated it. Come on
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, I guess we've had no choice to be all right with it for many
Yes,
decades
Gordon.
now.
That's right. We've got no choice, buddy. And I make up for it by growing big beards. But my wife and my daughter hate my beards, so
Really?
I recently took it off, and now they're kissing me more.
Well, there's the benefit of this.
There's the benefit. Yes.
There's the benefit.
But also, beards do age you, They tell me I look 12 years younger now. Now I look 92 instead of 104.
Yeah. So how was your European trip there, Mr. Tate?
Oh, it was sensational, Gordon. My son, for those of anybody watching who doesn't know, he got remarried, and his new bride and their parents decided they wanted to do the wedding in Avignon in France. And so it was a destination wedding. 59 people arrived. 80 were invited, but it's a very long way to go and very expensive trip. But he gave us this wonderful chateau that we stayed in. When I say gave us, we were there for a week living in this chateau, all on him. It was sensational. It was about 25 acres of the most beautiful property you've ever seen. A swimming pool bigger than an Olympic pool that was deeper than an Olympic pool. In fact, it was terrifyingly deep, I have to say. We had a lot of fun all throwing things in and diving down and swimming back up again to the top.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been, as an Aussie, a great kind of thrill of mine. But it was just being in France and the trips that we did, the daytime trips going and staying in various places around Avignon. We flew in just north of Marseille and took a car and traveled all around for most of the week. Every day we drive out and look at. I love France. I spent about 4 months there.
Country.
I spent 4 months back in the south of France back in 2006.
Nice.
I was going to spend 6 months there, but an Australian playwright, David Williamson, wrote a play called When Dad Married Fury, which was a wonderful story about a character who's rather like Donald Trump. He was an Australian multimillionaire who had a lot of people that were investing in his companies, and he went bankrupt, and most of them jumped off tall buildings. It's a black comedy, a dark comedy, very funny. But, I had refused it because I was going to the south of France, and somebody invited me to a party, and it turned out that David was there. And he said to me, Nick, why did you turn my play down? Because I was living in America. I'd gone back to Australia for a couple of weeks before going to France. And I was very embarrassed. And I said to him, well, I it's just because I was going to France, David. I'm sorry. He said, well, please read it. So I read it, and it was sensational, and I agreed to do it. Somebody's asking me there about my shoulder problems. Yeah, well, look, they're still there. I play golf, but I couldn't even get my left arm out of my pocket, my hand. I had septicemia in this shoulder back in 2020 in the middle of COVID. And I thought I had COVID, but it turned out to be septicemia because there was an infection inside this shoulder. And I don't know if anybody's ever had septicemia, but it's deadly. And most people in their late 70s die of it. So I'm not dead. Look, hey. But I was pretty sick for a long while. And now I'm playing golf again, and I can get my arm up. I'm a bogey golfer, and I should be very happy with that. I am. Thank you for asking. I'm actually as fit as a fiddle, really. So
yeah, you're looking good, brother.
That's nice. Well, the beard's off. See, that takes 12 years off. But I can't say the same thing. Yeah. No, your beard's nice. Your beard's nice and trim.
I keep it trim. My wife doesn't like it too. Besides, when a lot of fellas grow their hair out, it just reminds me too much of pubes, and I just don't want to deal with that.
Ay, ay, ay.
Oh my God! Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I keep mine trimmed.
Yep.
See, black, and then from here on down, silver.
Mine is totally white. I mean, you've got pictures of me last time I was with.
Yeah.
Totally white now, and so is all the side of my hair and everything. I kind of like having white hair now because it's sort of like being blonde all over again. You know, see this white stuff here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Not quite white, really, is it?
Looks
to
like
answer the question about Kickstarter goal, it is 500.
Yeah, we're trying to raise $500,000.
Yep.
I thought that was from one person. No,
Yeah,
it's not 500K each. It's $500 each, or 100, or $50 each.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful project, and they all become investors then, don't they? Kickstart people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then, so the Kickstarter starts off at midnight tonight Eastern. So, Todd, I was actually doing the math backwards. It's not 5 a.m. It's going to be 7 p.m. when the UK sees this.
Okay.
They're 8 hours ahead of LA, and I guess 5 hours ahead of New York.
Nope. 5. God, I'm doing the math incorrectly again. No, it is 5 a.m. Sorry,
Okay. Yeah.
because they're ahead of us.
Yes.
Yeah. They're
indeed. 8 hours ahead of LA, as I
Of
say.
LA, yeah.
5 hours ahead of New York.
Go ahead and cut this part out of the video.
take.
No, they love little mistakes. They love little things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Add it to the blooper reel, I guess.
Yes. Added to the blooper reel.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. There you go. Blooper reels. Yeah, I don't. I'm excited for it to start, but there's a little, butterflies, and so I hope we can make it because this is such a good idea.
It is.
And I know there's some other stuff going on, like the 50th anniversary and all that stuff like that. But for a month, we need to focus right here on this Kickstarter, and I want to make sure it's all it goes well, because this is the beginning of the ending if we don't get the money.
Well, the show didn't start showing in America until 75, did it?
Correct.
Right.
Because we started filming in November of 73.
73, yeah.
And we shot all through 74. And the show all the way had never been screened by anybody. So we had no way of knowing whether people liked what we were doing or didn't like what we were doing. And then in the last couple of months of the final first series coming to an end, January, February, March, it suddenly was screened. And I think it had been on air for 2 weekends, a Saturday and then a Saturday. And there were very mixed responses. Some people loved it. Other people were saying, oh, it's not Star Trek. But hey, no, of course it never was.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we finished. And ITC said, well, we can't promise anything right now. We better just say it's off. And then, of course, it became fiercely popular in replays, and they decided, hey, we need to put this back on. So a whole year later they came back, and but they didn't get fully behind it, and they wanted to cut the budget, and they gave Mr. Freiberger the reins, and the rest is history. Some people loved what was going on, some people didn't.
Right.
There were some great episodes in the second series, there's no doubt about it. But because there's no questioning real talent and real good idea. It's just that there was some silly ideas that came into it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all history now.
You had some really good. Parts, though. Whether it be Dorzak or it be the Mark of Arcanon, you've had some really good input personal parts of the story. Dealing with the boy Ettrick in the Mark of Arcanon. That was actually really awesome.
Yes. There was some nice things. I can't remember. Was that second series or first series?
Second season. Mm-hmm.
Second season, yeah. I kind of forced Freddie Freiberger's hand because he had promised me, initially he didn't want me in the show. Like, he dropped everybody, you know. Only Martin and Barbara came back and thought, well, how can you do a television series where there were like 30 people in it that everybody recognized, and now 28 of them don't exist anymore, and pretend that they never there? And I was introduced to Freddie when Jerry brought me in and said, we've decided to bring you back into the show. I said, I don't understand why you ever dropped me or anybody from the show. Where's Xenia, where's Prentice? We'll try and get Xenia back, and they did. And Anton, thank God. No, I went to meet Fred, and he said, nobody's going to notice, Nick. He said, you think that's all important? He said, they won't notice. I wanted to tell him, you're crazy, man. What are you talking about? How can they not notice? Where's all these wonderful people that everybody loved? I mean,
David Hirsch. David Hirsch explained Series 2 the best, probably, as that's the Space 1999 reboot.
Yeah, there you go.
But people like Barry Morse, wonderful actor.
Oh yeah,
great character.
Missed him a lot.
It's not that I didn't enjoy Catherine and Tony; they were fabulous, great pluses to the show. But to have lost all the other people was insanity. Right.
No, it was to this day it's still an interesting topic of debate.
So I actually walked from the show after 5 episodes because he'd promised me, no, if we bring you back, I'm going to write for you meaningfully. And then the 5th script came along, and I had one line when Martin speaks to me, and I'm in a moon buggy out on the moon surface, and so therefore it was just this tiny little image of my character. And I looked at the script, and I thought I knew the man was a liar. And I walked in. I said, "What is this? Is this writing meaningfully?" And he said, "Oh, Nick, you can't be in every scene." I said, "I'm not even in the episode. Bye." And I left. I walked out. Martin came rushing out, heard about it, tried to stop me in the car park. No, I left. And I went and got on an airplane, and I flew to Austria and skied for 10 days. By the time I came back, mayhem. My agent and Equity and everybody were in uproar. And I said, "Will you talk to Fred Freiberger about it?" He promised that he would make my character. Then he went, he said, right, I'm going to write some wonderful scripts for you. And they did. So that's how a couple of those good scripts managed to come through.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of history there, which it can be told at another time. It's a book I got to write.
It's on your agenda, right?
It definitely is. Well, I've started it, but it's hard to kind of tie it down between, do I tell the story of my life and how I became an actor that could play a role like that, or do I just tell the story from the day that it started when the Andersons offered to me? There are two different kind of ways of approaching that.
Right.
And, David Niven wrote The Moon is a Balloon, which was a wonderful book. And then he wrote another book called I think he called it The Empty Horses, because Samuel Goldwyn, Metro Goldwyn Mayer, he obviously wasn't English. And as a director, he wanted riderless horses. And he said, "Bring on the empty horses." And David Niven thought that was a great title for a book.
Yeah.
What's this here?
Alan's got a question for you.
Somebody's asking me about Lon Satin, left after break. Do I know why he left? Yeah. No, but I do know that he was an extremely good-looking, very strong, attractive human being. And somebody said that he had a high opinion of himself. I never felt that about him. I thought he was a really nice person, it took us 6 weeks to make the first episode, the pilot episode, because Lee Katzin, who was the director, wanted to take the time to make it great. So he made it almost like a feature movie. And there's a lot of footage that never came through. I think he made a 2-hour movie. In the end, they cut it down to the 52 minutes or whatever it is that they needed. And I thought he made a wonderful pilot episode, which is Breakaway. And I was so lucky because I was going to be killed. But during the 6 weeks of putting the whole show together, Lee Katzin personally decided that he didn't want my character killed. He wanted me in the show. And he talked to the Andersons and said, we can't kill this guy. We need him in the show. But Lon got tossed, and I don't know why, because I wasn't privy to that kind of information.
Well, you broke for then, and he was gone, and they already had him replaced. So,
Clifton was a wonderful actor, and became a very close friend of mine. We went off to the south of France together during one of the breaks. Had the greatest time in Juan Le Pen, being a couple of not out of work actors, holidaying actors, because we're in the middle of the series. And Clifton loved it down there. He ordered Drambuie and all kinds of exotic kind of. I'm not much of a drinker, and he wasn't either. But he just liked to lash out and be treated in absolute luxury. And I've always been too cheap to do that. He called me cheap too, He just wanted the best. Clifton is a lovely person. He was a wonderful actor, not given enough to do ever. And so many of the wonderful actors in the first series weren't given enough to do. And if Freddie Freiberger ever said anything that was pertinent, and that was that he did, he just didn't get to know the characters. Well, that was because they weren't allowed to be written for. They wanted the show to be very Martin Landau centric, and it was. He's in every scene, and a wonderful actor. I mean, Martin's fabulous, great guy. But shows that are more ensemble have more legs.
Well, you and Clifton look like you had a great time in that moon buggy in that one episode, The Full Circle, on location, driving that thing around.
He was good fun anywhere, anytime. Smart, intelligent, very well educated, Clifton. He's still around. I wish I could see him, but I'm in America and he's in England.
Yeah.
And I know that he's not been well. So if he happens to be watching, or if anybody has any contact with Clifton, we did get to speak online about 12 months ago. I think it was Prentice that managed to get him to sit in front of a camera with me, and he hadn't been well. So we were hoping to get together at one of the conventions that was going to happen in England, but I wasn't able to go.
Gotcha.
And I'm going to come next year. Well, obviously you know that, but
fingers crossed.
All these trips, sometimes, especially when I was in Australia, I had to go to Italy once for a Space 1999 convention. I flew
the
8 hours.
The moonbound folks, yes.
Yeah, I spent 8 hours flying to Singapore, 2 hours on the ground, 8 hours flying to to Bahrain, 2 hours on the ground, and another 7 hours flying to London. By the time I got there, it was like 29 hours, and then you got to do all the cars and sitting in airports and so on. Then I had to travel down to Gatwick, from Heathrow to Gatwick, which is another 2 hours on a coach, and then be flown to Italy. And I flew to Italy, and then I got to be picked up there by somebody that then drove me to the western coast of Italy, which was another 2 hour drive through blinding snowstorms to go to that convention in the middle of winter. I think I got there 36 hours after I left home, and I was so jet lagged. So getting to some of these conventions hasn't always been easy. That's why I said no to so many. During most of the time I was living in Australia, I would not come to England or America or Italy or Germany and the various places that we were asked to go.
You look like you had a pretty good time over at Wonderfest this year.
I had a great time at Wonderfest. You know I did. Oh no, there've been some marvelous moments, and what I find is a joy is after 50 years of being in a show, to meet people who have the same memories, like yourself, and Todd, and all the fans that come along, and you see the genuine love.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about kind of moronic people, because a lot of other people who don't understand and think most fans are some kind of cookie wild individual. I'm talking about people who are school teachers, university professors, policemen, army generals, people who say Space 1999 changed my life. And people that come and wrap their arms around me and cry and say, "Oh, and Carter was my hero. You know, you're so wonderful. Thank you so much." I am gobsmacked by it, and I'm very appreciative of what Space 1999 did for those people, and let's face it, did for me. You know, because it was a great break, and it was a thrill to work on. Best part of 3 years of my life, and all the actors that worked in it. We became great pals. I loved Martin. He was a very dear man. Egomaniac, but then a lot of big stars are. But he didn't do that to me. He was so pally and funny. God, he was a funny man. We shared a lot of jokes together because the two of us are very irreverent, as you guys know how irreverent I am. Got to be careful when I'm on video because people might say, "I didn't know he was that naughty." Anyway,
I can understand that.
Yes, but I'm a very, very appreciative of the way you guys are so clever at keeping this thing going and alive, and nurturing the memory of, because it shares a very special little part of my heart. My kids, could care less because it wasn't their era. I remember once my daughter, who was about 16 and never wanted to know anything about the show, was at home one day when some friends of mine came round and who loved Space 1999. And they said, "Nick, do you have any episodes?" I said, "Yes, I've just got a Blu-ray that's been sent to me." I said, "Oh, the Blu-ray, yes. Could we look at a couple of episodes?" So I put them on, and my daughter said, "What are you doing?" I said, "We're putting on Blu-ray episodes of Space 19." She walked out and said, "Dad, that's old. What are you doing? Why bother?" And she left. She was about 15 years of age with girlfriends. About an hour later, the episode finished, and as it finished, I looked around, and over my shoulder was my daughter with tears streaming down her face. She'd been standing there for the last 20 minutes. She was gobsmacked about how fabulous Space 1999 was. "Daddy, oh, Daddy," and she gave me a big kiss and a cuddle, and her girlfriends were behind her too, and they all came over and they went, "Oh, can we just say how much we love that?" And so they've looked at all the episodes now, and then of course I brought Jesse to a convention one day. I don't know if you were there, Gordon, but no, it was in England, I think. I think it was in the year 1999 when.
Yeah, I was there. 99 was a convention. I thought.
It was here in America.
Los Angeles,
here, definitely, because Jesse came to it, and again, there's suddenly she not only watching the show, she's now meeting all the fans, and she had no concept of how much it meant to other people.
Right.
Hey guys, watching while I get ready for work here early morning in Australia. Andrew Ray. Well, hello, Andrew. G'day, mate. How you going? All right, you getting ready? What have you got to say, Andrew?
He's just watching. He's getting ready to go to work.
Getting ready to go to work.
He's a big 1999 fan. He's one of our friends.
Yeah, he's a big collector, and he also admins one of the main pages as well.
Does he?
He does.
Okay.
He does.
Well, hi, Andrew. Nice to know. Wonder what part of Australia he's in. My dog is going berserk.
Tell you.
Tiggy! Hey, come here. Tiggy, get up.
Oh.
Tiggy, come here.
Well, it looks like the weather's really nice over there.
Okay, I want people to see my dog. Tiggy, come here. Tig! She loves the pool man. Come here.
Hell, she'd love to.
Barking hysterically like a female dog that you are. Tiggy, come here. 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 I want you to say hello to everybody. This is Tiggy.
Wow.
This is my beautiful dog. She's a golden doodle.
Very, very beautiful dog.
Yay, beautiful dog. She loves the pool man. She's barking at him because she loves him. What else have we got to say, buddies? Andrew Ray loves listening to my stories. Well, I'm sorry, my wife doesn't. She's heard them all. She walks out the door. That's what I got left in life now. Is I got a lot of stories. So,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So we're really excited about this documentary. I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of interview Jeffrey pulls off with you, and talking about a little bit of memories, going down memory lane of the Eagle and your participation of being a pilot in the show.
He just demonstrated a tiny bit of what he can do, and it thrills me because we're in extremely good hands.
Yeah.
You know, I think Brian was a bit gobsmacked too about how wonderful the representation of the Eagles looked, and to think that was all done electronically. And there isn't actually, although I know he's got an Eagle, and many, I think, extraordinary.
Yeah, Steve Walker presented him with one of the 1612 Eagle, one of the 44s.
Oh my God, that's worth thousands of dollars.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is it a loan for the show, or did he give it to him?
I think he gave it to him, presented it to him as because he had either 50 or 100 of that particular one produced. I can't remember if it was the Rescue or if it was the Standard Transporter, but it's online on Facebook some time ago where Steve had a nice photo session with Brian and presenting it to him. he even got to hold Brian's Oscar, in one of the photos. It's kind of neat.
From Star Wars.
Yes, I believe that was one of them.
Not from Space 19.
Oh no, no. It's either Star Wars or Alien, one of the two, I think.
Oh, thank you, Ronald Nesbitt. Nick, you should, in capitals, write that book. My wife is always telling me, "What are you doing watching TV? Go and write your book."
You don't have to sit down and type it either. You could actually just, kind of listen to yourself tell the story and dictate it.
Yes, but I need somebody listening to me who, like you and Todd, ask questions. Because, if you say something and people don't understand it, it's like, I'm sorry, hang on a minute. What did you mean by that? Now, we could cut out all the bits where people are saying, what did you mean by that?
Sure.
And just have the story.
Right.
And I know, but I kind of need.
I'll send you a photograph of myself if you want to just post it on your computer. While you're.
Todd has actually offered to be that person sitting with me.
Yeah.
And I could do it. I think I might try some of that. I've got a whole series of stories that I've written about incidents that have happened, which I should link together. That's for the longer book, which I was going to call Sitting on the Biscuit Tin. Have I told you why I'm going to call my book Sitting on the Biscuit Tin? When I was a 7-year-old boy, I was scared to listen to radio. We didn't have television. Scared to listen to radio serials. God bless Ronald. He's off to work. And my father had been a radio electrician, engineer when he was a teenager. And he built a radio with speakers that were down the other end of our apartment in Sydney, which was a long corridor down to the bedroom. And he put a speaker into the living room, kitchen area at the other end of the house. But he didn't want to hear the radio serials at nighttime when he wanted to sit having quiet time with my mother. Who's writing that? Tony Workbench. That's what I tell my wife. Quit watching TV and go write your book too. He tells his wife to go write the book. Yeah, my wife should write a book too. You're dead right. Actually, she's a wonderful antique fabric restorer and maker of antique female clothing, and very popular. She definitely should write a book. But anyway, my dad put this speaker in, and as a 7-year-old kid, I don't want to be down the other end of the house listening to scary radio serials in the evening. And so I would come into the area where they were, but they didn't want to hear it. So the speaker was up in the ceiling or up near the top of the wall. And my dad would stand me on the kitchen table, and I'd stand there trying to listen with my ear against the wall, and the speaker was still another foot away from me. So he would get this big biscuit tin that we had, because then he'd turn it down and I could listen to it and be in the room with him, you understand?
Yeah.
And he'd put me on the biscuit tin, and I could sit on the biscuit tin with my ear crushed against the speaker, listening to radio serials. And the visual of this little boy with his legs dangling in this big room, you know, with my parents sitting there with a beer or a scotch or whatever they were, chatting across the table, and this kid at the other end of the table sitting with his head jammed into the speaker, sitting on the biscuit tin. And so a friend of mine said you should call it that, and that's been my intention, but that wouldn't fit in with Space 1999. I'd have to talk about the eagle. I think that would have to come into the title, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Give me a title for the show, the book.
Dictate, Nick Tate.
Dictate, Nick Tate. That's a command. Dictate, Nick Tate. Yes. Thank you.
That's good. I like that.
Yes. Yeah.
We should do that. I would love to spend some time with you and figure out.
We most certainly can make a dent in this thing, Todd.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think once I get going, you know, it's like I wrote a film once some time ago called The Legend of the Blackfire Opal, and I found it very hard to get started. I had originally written it sitting in hospital when I was having an operation on my leg, so I had a lot of quiet time, and I became very creative, and I wrote the premise for a wonderful show, and but I didn't ever flesh it out. And I was telling it to a friend of mine in America who's a screenwriter, and she said, "You've got to write it." So I sat down and I tried to write it, and I found it very hard with distractions around me and stuff. So then a friend of mine called Steve Bogadine, who was another voiceover guy, I'd gone back to Australia. And when I came over here, I said, could I come and stay with him for a week? And he said, yes. I wound up living with him for about 3 months because I started getting lots of voiceover work back in America whilst I had been living back in Australia. This is after I'd done all the Jurassic Parks and the Independence Day voiceovers. So he gave me a room, and it had no window. Well, it had a window that looked on a brick wall. And I would sit in this room and I would write. And I became prolific. I mean, from midnight onwards till 4 o'clock in the morning, I was like, blah, 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 and this story just poured out of me. You know, so I know that you just need something to kick you off and get going. And maybe if I did tell it a bit, then maybe that would kick me off. But I don't want to be doing that because I can't spell. And fortunately, there are these programs that can.
Yeah, that's why I say you should dictate that stuff versus hand typing it, hand cranking it.
It does come up with some very funny interpretations of some of the things that thinks I said.
Yeah.
I mean, I've looked at things that I do on. Sometimes I'll do an email like that, and I can't work out why. Some of the strange constructions it writes there. Who's this? Tim Smith. I love your original title. Tim Smith says, I love your original title. Very unusual and catchy, but do include a picture of the biscuit tin. I get my biscuits in the frozen section. Can't sit on those. Yeah, in the old days, Australian biscuits, back in the 50s, this was. No, actually, it was the late 40s. I was born in 42, so I was 7 years of age in 49, sitting on the biscuit tin. And the shops would have all the biscuits loose, stacked together inside biscuit tins. They didn't come on supermarket stores where they were all in very tight cellophane packaging. And when you went to buy your biscuits, which are called cookies in America, they would put them in a paper bag, and you take home a quarter of a pound or half a pound or a pound of biscuits, pound of cookies, And I'm sure it was the same here back in the 40s and 50s before all the supermarket packaging came along. And as I say, and the biscuits would come in these tins. An interesting thing here is that when I was living in England, I used to love an Australian biscuit, which I've never been able to buy anywhere in the world other than Australia, called a Vita Wheat. It's a very thin cracker. It's long and it's hard. And it's made out of wheat, but it's toasted very brown. And when you bite into them, they shatter. They don't just crunch. They're really, really, it's like eating broken glass, but it's not quite that sharp, but it's very, very hard. And they used to sell those in tins too. So when I was in England and somebody said to me one day, what do you miss most about Australia? And instead of saying parrots or kangaroos or surf, I said, I miss Vita Wheat biscuits. And I didn't think anybody would make much of that. It was just an interview that I did on an Australian newspaper. I got a message from Pete Friends, who made the biscuits in those days. Arnott's have since bought them out. That they were thrilled with what I'd said about Vita Wheat biscuits. And as a result of that, they wanted me to accept this gift. They sent me a tin of Vita Wheat biscuits, all in their new packaging.
Wow.
And in one of the old tins with the parrot on the outside of it and everything. And I had that when I was living in England for years because I would store all my biscuits in it.
Nice.
Absolutely.
As a gift.
Well, Nick, as much as I hate to do this, I'm afraid I have.
Yes, you've got a life, and so does everybody else listening. Thank you very much.
But it was an absolute honor to see you again. I always love catching up with you.
Always, Gordon.
And I'm so thrilled to see that you're doing very well health-wise. That's probably the most important thing.
Yeah. And Todd, God bless you. I'm so sorry about you losing your dad.
Yeah,
we've already had that discussion, but if other people don't know, Todd's dear father passed away.
That's where I'm at now, and this was actually a little bit of a nice thing to happen to kind of get my mind off of everything that's outside this door right here.
Yeah. But he had a great innings, man. Let's face it.
Yeah.
In his late 70s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was Air Force retired and veteran, military retiree. On behalf of that, thank you, Todd, for for his service.
Yeah.
Always. I love you two guys. Thank you. God bless, and all the fans, everybody involved. I'm going to check out now too.
Absolutely, Nick. It's wonderful seeing you again. You take care of yourself. Anything you need, let us know.
Yeah, indeed. Likewise.
I'm going to call you here in just a few minutes because I got a couple of things I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
Just a few minutes is all we need.
No, I can't cancel this. Will you cancel it for me?
I'll get it for you. Thanks,
Bye.
Nick.
All right, guys.
Bye-bye.
Well, I appreciate it, Todd.
Yeah, no problem.
So to the fans out there, congratulations once again to the winners. We will be working with the winners to get these out, and more to follow. So keep your eyes peeled on Props and Ships, on Space 1999 series, and of course this video here will be on YouTube on Sci-Fi Todd channel, I believe. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At the it's Todd's. Yeah, Sci-Fi Todd.
Todd's Corner.
Todd's Corner, all that's good stuff. But the links are all over the place. But yeah, I want to thank everybody for joining us, and good congratulations to those guys that won those pre-built Eagles and the Mattel Eagle. Hopefully they'll be able to post it somewhere after they get them and say, "Hey, look what I got!" It's for real.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yep. Thanks everybody. We will see you soon.
Yeah. Todd, let us know when you want to do a show again.
Soon. Yeah, I'll probably give me a week or two to get back home and decompress, and I will see all you guys soon.
All right, guys. Have a great one. It's great seeing you guys.
See you guys.